Hi, you guys. Baby, every cloud has a silver lining. Baby, every dog really has its day. And it matters to me to see you smiling. Why don't we blow all your cares away? Yesterday is gone and will be forgotten. And today is where every new day starts. Got to be free as the leaves in autumn. You may be sad, but it never lasts. And maybe by the evening we'll be laughing. Just you wait and see all the changes there'll be by the time it gets dark. We could go walking out in the sunshine. Look at all the people out in the street, hurrying away to a business luncheon, waiting for a taxi for aching feet. Light up your face, baby, let's get going. Wanna see a change in those weary eyes. We'll have some fun, take a boat out rowing. Why on earth should life be so serious? And maybe by the evening we'll be laughing. Just you wait and see all the changes there'll be by the time it gets dark. Oh, by the time it gets dark. Oh, by the time it gets dark. Thank you. You guys are very quiet and polite. Why not put all the doubts behind us? Now we've got Brooklyn at its finest. Full moon, it doesn't hurt. And perfect fireworks. I hope we both remember this. 'Cause we're happy as we're ever gonna be. Open as we're ever gonna be. Lovely as we're ever gonna be. Happy as we're ever gonna be. $100 ago they built it, a bridge to see how the other side lives. We come along, years have passed. Walk over it to have a laugh. Oh, we've got the nerve of the very new. And we're happy as we're ever gonna be. Open as we're ever gonna be. Honest as we're ever gonna be. Happy as we're ever gonna be. The folks in charge know how to do it right. October comes once a year, and we've got a winner here. I hope we both remember this, 'cause we're happy as we're ever gonna be, open as we're ever gonna be, honest as we're ever gonna be, happy as we're ever gonna be. Yes, we're happy as we're ever gonna be, open as we're ever gonna be, free as we're ever gonna be, happy as we're ever gonna be. Thank you. So, who are you people? I'm shocked that you came. When I got here today, I was looking at this hallway thinking, oh boy, that's a lot of space. How many of you guys have never seen me before? Wow. What on earth possessed you to do such a thing? I'm glad you're here. For those of you who have never seen me before, I am Lucy Wainwright Roche, and I guess what you should know about me is I've spent the past 5 years or so driving around on tour in a car by myself. So I have a lot to say. Sure, I'm glad to see some people. I've had all kinds of adventures on tour, and actually I feel like, in the interest of full disclosure, I should tell you now that right before I came here, I ate at the Founding Farmers restaurant, which was great, but really not the kind of thing you should do right before you sing in front of a lot of people. But anyway, it was really good. If you're not from here, you should go there. It was delicious. I just want to know all about you guys, but we'll come back to that, I guess. Anyway, I live in New York. I grew up in Manhattan. Now I live in Brooklyn, and this song is about Coney Island. Have you guys ever been to Coney Island? Anybody? Actually, it just opened back up after Hurricane Sandy just this week, and today was the first day that you could ride the Cyclone roller coaster, which I did 2 years ago for the first time. First roller coaster ever. I think last roller coaster ever. Also, it's incredibly rickety and wooden, and it was coming, as I was online, the people were soldering back together one of the seats, which was alarming. And then, of course, now the hurricane has come and gone, and they had to, fix all these different things. But no one said anything about what they had to fix on the wooden Cyclone. But then today, I saw on Twitter, they were like, today's the first day you can come back and ride the Cyclone. No thanks. Anyway, that's not what this song is about. But a couple years ago, they were starting to redo Coney Island and tear down all the kind of older parts, except for the rickety roller coaster. And they, there was a lot of back and forth. A lot of people didn't want them to change it and wanted it to stay the same. And some people, there was fighting over it and stuff. And I happened to go out there one day in the middle of winter when it's really shut down. And I showed up just at the moment where they were taking down and demolishing this kind of iconic thing on the boardwalk, which was a huge rocket ship that said Astroland, and it was on top of a hot dog stand. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Sounds like maybe not. But anyway, it was kind of a thing that was always there, and it was so weird. I showed up just as they were lifting it down with this crane, and I don't know. This song came out of that. Open season on a broken heart. This is the year they take the summer apart. There is a magic to the carnival arts, and I can hear the sound. Is it the wind through the wonder wheel? Is it the science of the way we feel? Is it the quiet of that old appeal? Will you be mine again? My love, are you on a winter beach tonight? Waiting on a last chance rocket ride over the boardwalk. Follow the noise, no one but me and the neighborhood boys will remember where we were when this went down. The ocean calls us like we've never been. 100 games that we will never win. Close your eyes and hear the teacups spin as it begins to snow. And if you're careful, that's not all you'll hear. The mermaids watch us steal a souvenir and whisper moral warnings in our ears as we are heading home. My love, are you on a winter beach tonight? Waiting on a last chance rocket ride over the boardwalk. Follow the noise, no one but me and the neighborhood boys will remember where we were when this went down. So take a deeper breath, let's hear you sing, and reach your hand out for an iron ring. You'll get another chance, so that's the thing. We will be back again. 'Cause summer comes around on any clock, awash with bathing suits and polka dots. We'll ride the subways to their final stops to see the sea again. Thank you. Could I have a little less guitar on the monitor? Thanks. So, do any of you have any questions or comments? I did bring CDs to sell. It's like I planted you there. Yep, I have CDs back there. I've got some T-shirts and stuff. In fact, I have a T-shirt that has the first line of that last song on it, and after they first got printed, I was really excited, and I brought one to my mom's house for her to see, and then the next morning, I got an email from her, and it said in the subject line, T-shirts, exclamation, exclamation, and inside it said, you need to contact the person who printed your CDs because your T-shirts because they're printed inside out. And then I had to write back to her and be like, no, Mom, that's like a cool, hip seam on the outside kind of a shirt that I picked out. So I have those back there as well. If you'd like them, not to worry if you see the seam on the outside. Yeah. Any other questions? My dog. How do you know about my dog? Oh, they're groupies. I have groupies. That's really news to me and exciting. I have a dog. She is about 10 months old. She's so good. She's with her grandparents today. She came on the road with me for 2.5 weeks in the fall, which was great. But I wasn't sure if the Kennedy Center would appreciate me bringing a dog, so I didn't bring her today. But how many of you guys are pet owners? Here's the thing that I didn't expect about it. This dog of mine, she could not be more loved and doted upon, and she's got like baskets of dog toys. And when we were on the car on tour in the car, the back seat was strewn with treats and bones and all kinds of stuff. She just has a nice life, you know what I mean? And yet, she's still always looking at me like she's in one of those Sarah McLachlan dog commercials. You know, like they just have that way of looking at you like life is terrible and everything is so bad. And I used to think those commercials, like people went around like to sort of dog shelters that weren't very nice and took video of sad dogs. But no, you could get that video right out of my living room. I mean, she's just looking at me all the time like that. I don't know what more I can do for her. Anyway, that's a little bit of what I think about while I'm in the car driving around. I'm worried about her happiness. Is anybody here a dog psychic? I just feel like there's a big group of us here. I mean, anybody could be here. Maybe you'll tell me privately if you're a dog psychic after. Anyway. Anything else? Sure. I don't know if she wants to know if she can request a song, but you can request it. Whether or not I'll be able to play it, I'm not sure, but go for it. No. Oh, God, that's so terrible when that happens, when someone requests something you don't know it. I don't know how to play it. I'm really sorry. Oh, God, she keeps asking for songs that I don't know. I might be able to. Let me think about that one if I can think about how to do it. I'm sorry. Yes. It's not personal. He just picked an easier song. Sure. Okay. I'm going to think about that second one, see if I can gather my courage to sing that one. All right. This is your request. Honestly, you were less than a prince. I could say that again. What we had was little more than a glimpse of the things that we hoped for back then. No one likes to find the one who they thought was lovely was a flash in the pan. Survey the scene well, the break was clean. Hell, that may be true, and yet the losses were grand. And the worst part is, or the worst part is, or the very worst part is, I will always love you anyway. And the worst part is, or the worst part is, or the very worst part is, I will always love you anyway. Left myself sitting pretty and brown, sitting right on the rails. The service train came and set us apart, although now I'm still getting your mail. You seem to have found a way to bring me down, to make me see just how the problem is mine. If you would like to be a person making me feel worse, well, you can get behind me in line. And the worst part is, or the worst part is, or the very worst part is, I will always love you anyway. And the worst part is, or the worst part is, or the very worst part is, I will always love you anyway. Thank you. So, did any of you guys, do you live here? Yes? And how many of you don't live here? It's interesting, the non-living here people raised their hands, but the living here people shouted and made noise. Just taking it all in, just learning about you. Did any of you guys ever play in a marching band? Yeah. What did you play? Trumpet, sousaphone. What? French horn. Did anybody do the flags? Color guard. No. Somebody did, they're just not admitting it. That's what always happens. And after the show, somebody will come up and be like, I played color guard. Anyway, well, I grew up in Manhattan, like I said, so I did not have football. There was no, grass to play football on or march. So I didn't know anything about that until I went to college in Ohio, and I got really into going to the high school football games near Oberlin, where I went to school. And then I wrote this song, and then years later I went on tour in Australia with my dad. Have any of you ever been to Australia? Is anyone going? Maybe sometimes? Sometime? Well, here's what you should know about it. Everything is poisonous there. It's the first thing I learned. Second thing I learned, and this is spreading to here, so you just need to be very careful. They say no worries about everything. And it's oftentimes like, no worries, and then there's not a door on the back of the plane or something important. Plus, I grew up in New York, and so my whole thing is worries. But they really hammer it out of you, and by the end you're like, okay, no worries. So there's that. And thirdly, and this is not a complaint, but they're really, really friendly. And an example of that would be my dad and I played in a venue where the hotel was attached. It was upstairs from the room that you played in, and they didn't have bathrooms in the hotel room. There was a communal bathroom down the hall. I'm sure that's your favorite kind of hotel, too. And in the morning after the show, I went in there. I was standing at the sink brushing my teeth, and in the mirror behind me, I could see all of the bathroom stalls lined up, and all of a sudden, one of the doors kind of creaked open, and there was this woman sitting on the toilet there, and she was like, "Hi." And I was like, "Hi." And she was like, "We really loved your show last night." I was like, so you might want to be careful of that when you go. But anyway, the reason I'm really bringing up Australia is that while I was there every night in the show, when I would go to play this song, I would ask them, do you have marching bands here? Because, I didn't know if they would understand what I was talking about. And every night, without fail, they would say, no. Are there any Australians here tonight? Yes? Really? Right? You don't have marching bands, right? You do? I can't hear you. Occasionally. I thought they were fibbing. They would be like, no, we don't have marching bands. But I kind of think it was just covering something up. We'll have to talk later, you and I. So anyway, I would just go along with it because they were like, we don't have them. So I would explain to them, oh, well, don't worry. I'll explain back home in the States, all across the country. On Friday nights, the high school kids come out to play football. And then in the halftime, the really cool high school kids come out to play in the marching band. Right? The morning bus will come to take you down the country road to the farthest side of town. station on the corner has fired another clerk. The strike is over and the teachers are back to work. The boy next door has gone to war. He's the next in an 8-year fight, and you'll play a snare drum solo in the Friday football light. Little man, are you the heir to an empty hand? Oh, no one is sure what we'll be fighting for next. Little boy, are you the heir to a plastic toy? With hair like that, you know nobody can see your eyes. You've heard it from your mother if once, then 1,000 times. You like it long, freedom belongs to the red, the blue, the white. When you play a snare drum solo in the Friday football light. And the jokes you hear, well, who knows what they mean. There are the kids at school and the kids behind the screen. At home at night, your parents fight, and well, neither one is right. You'll play a snare drum solo in the Friday football light. Little man, are you the heir to an empty hand? Oh, no one is sure what we'll be fighting for next. Little boy, are you the heir to a plastic toy? Do you know who you are or how you'll know? You lay in bed last night and listened for the season's first snow. Upon the roof you'll tell the truth someday, but for tonight you'll play a snare drum solo in the Friday football light. You'll play a snare drum solo in the Friday football light. Thank you. So I have a slight confession to make, which was that when I was emailing last week with the person who was in charge of with telling me, you know, where to park the car and how to get here and stuff, I asked if they were going to have a piano, and she said yes. And so I don't play the piano, but I learned a song on the piano. And all I did all week was play it on the piano. So I really didn't practice anything else, which probably wasn't that good of an idea. But anyway, it turned out that we got our wires crossed and the piano wasn't tuned, so it's better not to play it because it might be scary. But I think I'm going to try to play the song I was going to play on the piano on the guitar. I wrote it on the guitar, and then I spent all this time trying to learn to play on the piano, and now I don't really know how to play on the guitar anymore. So in a way, it's similar to if I had played the piano, which I don't know how to play. You know what I mean? Do you feel excited about it? This is it's very short, so if it goes badly, that's a plus. I wrote this song. It's on my new album, which comes out later this year, and I had a friend who was terribly heartbroken by his girlfriend breaking up with him, and I went out to dinner with him, and then I came home afterwards and wrote this, which is a danger of being a friend of mine. You have to be careful what you say, because it might end up being recorded and sent all over the world on a CD. So anyway, someone else played it on the piano on my album, and they played it really nicely. So
you should get the album and listen to them playing it. This will just be a stand-in. This is going to be really interesting. All right, here goes. It's called Look Busy. No, it's not her that's calling. It's just me. So steady your jumpy broken heart. Just thought I'd check in on you. Wanted to see, are you playing every sorry part? One day if by magic you will see the light of day, this I can nearly guarantee. Forgetting to remember that she's even gone away. In the meantime, look busy. Think for a moment back to the autumn that we met upon a continental rail. All of the heartache you feel hadn't happened yet, and yours was a brightly blowing sail. Remember how we laughed about the diamonds of the West, wonders of the world for us to see. You'll smile again when you are back and at your best. In the meantime, look busy. All right, people. How do you feel about sing-alongs? Are sing-alongs allowed here? Well, we're going to find out. So, do you want to learn your part? Okay. I actually know 2 sing-alongs, so if you're really good at this, that might not be a good thing to tell people before you try to get them to do a sing-along. Like, if you do this well, we'll do another sing-along, and then everybody's just, like, silent. If you do this well, we won't do any other sing-alongs. So I don't usually do this one. This is my official sound check song. I always play it in my sound check to test out if everything sounds all right, and I never play it in the show, but I'm going to because we need it, because it's a spring-centered song. Your part goes like this. Will you go, lassie, go, and we'll all go together to pull wild mountain thyme all around the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? You got it? You'll get it. You'll get it. It happens a bunch of times. You'll get it. So I used to be an elementary school teacher. Are you guys teachers? I taught 2nd and 3rd grade in New York, and I had this student who I really liked a lot, and his name was Reed. And he was a 2nd grader, and after he was in my class, I continued to tutor him for a while, and he once told me about this girl who he had a crush on, and how he was going to tell her that he really liked her. And I was like, what are you going to do if she says she doesn't like you? Because I was a really good teacher. And he was like, I'll just find somebody else. And so whenever I sing this song, I always think of Reed, because the third verse has that kind of attitude to it. So you'll see when we get to the third verse. Okay, are you ready? If you feel shy about singing, just think about what it's like to be the person up here who's like, it's a sing-along, and then like no one sings. That's much worse than having to sing. So, okay. Oh, the summertime is coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme blooms around the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to time all around the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? How's it going? Okay. I will build my love a bower by yon clear and crystal fountain, and on it I will place all the flowers of the mountain. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to wild mountain thyme all around the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? Okay, here's Reed's verse. If my true love will not go, I will surely find another to wild mountain thyme all around the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to wild mountain thyme all around the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to wild mountain thyme all around the purple heather. Last chance. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to wild mountain thyme all around the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? Will you go, lassie, go? Very, very nice. That was lovely. That was very nice. Thank you for singing with me. So has anyone thought of any other questions that we should cover? I just want to explain, I feel like most of us have never met, and I'm just like spewing information at you, and you're just sitting there. So I feel like if you have any burning questions. I really like teaching, yes, a lot, very much. And actually, it's a similar job to this. And what I mean by that is you're trying to communicate something to a group of people, you know? But you guys are quieter than my students ever were when I tried to teach them stuff. So that's why I'm doing this for a living. No, that's not true. I loved teaching, and I miss it. I miss it still. Any other questions? Yes. You're so polite. You're the Australian person. Do I sing to my dog? You know, she, in addition to, in her sort of arsenal of faces, she's got the Sarah McLachlan sad face dog thing, and then she has this other thing which we call Judgmental Dog, which, like the other day, I picked up the guitar and she was sleeping, and I started to play it, and she was like, you know? So I do play around her, but it's not for her, because she's made it clear that that's not really her idea of a good time. Anything else? Oh, yes? What was that? Somebody has to yell it. Never mind. But I heard you say never mind, so I could hear you say it if you said it really loud. No, I frightened that person away. Thrift shop. I don't know that song. What is it? Whose song is it? What is it? Who is it? I don't even know who that is. You know what? Next time I come back, I will learn that song. It's if you'll come, I'll learn it. Is it a deal? Yeah. Okay, awesome. What? Bring Ira Glass. I could ask him to come. All right, I'll learn that song. I'll bring Ira Glass with me. Any other requests for the next time? No? Are you sure? All right, so I come from a family where a lot of other people do this for a living. It's kind of embarrassing at this point. The last thing the world really needs is more of us singing at you. But here I am. And, you know, in our family, what happens is people like write these songs and we record them, put them on records, and then we get copies and we give them to the people in the family, and then everyone takes them home and listens to them, and you're listening, you're thinking like, oh, I wonder who this song's about. I wonder what that song's about. And then by, you know, time for Thanksgiving, everyone's all pissed off at each other about whatever was in the songs, you know. So I've tried to stay out of that somewhat, but, you know. Is anybody else here in a family business? No, because none of the people in family business could bear to come out tonight. They just were just exhausted by it. I understand. This song, one of the things we have at the CD table is my mom and I just made a record together this winter. And we made it with our friend Rob Morseberger, who played the piano on all the songs. And no one has it in the world. It has not been released into the world, but there are a lot of them in my apartment. A lot of copies of it in my apartment, and some here tonight. So my mom, for many years, traveled and was in a group called the Roaches, and this is a Roaches song written by my Aunt Terry in honor of being in families. How many of you are in families? How's that going? I can't get over what I saw. I can't change the law of averages. I'm going down. My uncle did it. My daddy did it. I'm beginning to think that it
bunch of us alone. I remember that night. It was the one I picked a fight with you. I'm holding the bag just like my mama did, just like her mama did. Now there's gonna be a new kid in the family. Oh no, kid, you're gonna run in the family. Oh yeah, kid, you're gonna run in the family.
Thank you very much. So we're in the home stretch of the hour here, and I'm just going to play, I think, 2 more songs for you. Okay. So my new album that's coming out is called There's a Last Time for Everything, which is representative, as you may have noticed, from the other songs of that I kind of like sad songs. And this is the title song from the record. You got so quiet again. Met you when the days were ours. We've been handed all the moons and stars, and told go forth, your future's north, and your own breath will take you far. Well, some of that tale was so, and some of it we would outgrow. But side by side we rode that ride with each other, always in tow. Everyone will always know you are a heart of mine. Between forever and one day there is the finest line. And I wanted to show you all the things I hid. I was just a kid, and I never did. Ancient era ends, a few moments left for us to spend. You're just not quite still mine outright, and we will never be here again. But everyone will always know you are a heart of mine. Between forever and one day there is the finest line. To show you all the things I hid. I was just a kid, and I never did. So one last chance to sing. We're changing on a prayer away. Not graceful or true, just me and you. There's a last time for everything. There's a last time. There's a last time. There's a last time. There's a last time for everything. Thank you. I I saw some people waving their cell phones back and forth back there like lighters. All my dreams are coming true. No, but seriously, before I play one more song, I just wanted to say a couple things. First thing is, as we've discussed, there are Inside Out t-shirts and CDs back there. There's my newest CD that isn't out yet, and then there's the other CD with my mom that isn't out yet. We like to make records and not put them out and just drive around with them in our car. And then some older CDs of mine which are out. And then I've got a Sharpie. I'm going to go over there right after this. I'll sign them for you if you want, or lick them for you, or whatever. Whatever you want. So there's that. And I can really feel your unbridled enthusiasm about that. So I'm glad. And there are also free buttons and pins and stuff up there. You can take as many as you want. Second thing I wanted to say is how incredibly grateful and glad I am to have gotten to come and play here. This is a beautiful place. And quite an honor to get to come and play. And honestly, I really didn't know what to expect. So I want to thank everybody here at the Kennedy Center for having me. This is a really amazing series that they have free music constantly here. So hallelujah for that. And in closing, I just wanted to say, most of all, thanks so much to you guys for coming to the show and being here and being so nice and listening. And it's hard to kind of overstate what it means to people like me who are driving around in a car, going from town to town. You don't really know what's going to happen, whether people are going to show up at all, or whether if they show up they're going to be nice or not. You know, it's so many things. Let me tell you, things get really weird out there on the road. And you just really never know what to expect. And actually, this show, I posted it on my Facebook page, and it got a very big reaction, you know, because there's like a picture of the Kennedy Center, and like people were like, "You go, girl," you know. I think they were really excited. And a lot of times when that happens, when people on Facebook are like, "This looks great," it's like a terrible situation when you get there. Like, it's just like terribly horrible. And today has not been like that at all. This is so nice. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, you know, there are nights where you think, what the heck am I doing? How can I possibly do this? And then there are nights where you think, oh, this is nice. And this is one of those nights. And I really, really appreciate you coming and leaving your house. I mean, I don't like to leave my house for anything, really. So I really appreciate it. And I guess a shorter version is of what I'm trying to say is it would have been really different if you weren't here. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, thanks. You've probably heard this song somewhere before. And I'd love to meet you and find out who you are if you want. So you don't have to buy anything. You can just come over there and we can talk. You seem even more excited about that than the CDs. Whatever, we don't have to talk. Okay, it's fine. Anyway, thanks for coming on a school night. Have a great week, you guys. Can you hear me calling out your name? You know that I've fallen and I don't know what to say. Speak a little louder, I'll even